Yes, sir. What is going on, YouTube? It's your boy Denali, aka Don Squally, back at y'all with another Forza Horizon 3 build video, man. You guys know how we do it. Taking them requests. This is going to be probably week 2 of just the random builds. Trying to steer away from the YouTuber slash famous people builds. Just to give all the, just the oddball requests a chance to be seen. So in this one, we have a request that's not really an oddball request, but is something that I'm excited to do. Nonetheless, since I have not done one of these builds in Horizon 3 yet, this request comes from Ethan Gilmore, Gerald Naj Astruria, why not underscore Wyatt 74635, and Racing Boy 2001 all want to see a Toyota AE86, specifically a drift build slash slammed and stance build. Specifically a drift slash slammed and stance build. Now I think this is a dope idea. One of the reasons that I decided to pick this one, like I said, is because we actually haven't done an AE86 on the channel yet. Actually, sorry, we have done one on the channel, but not in Horizon 3. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the new Horizon graphics have to offer for this car. And as you guys can see, the car in question, 1985 Sprinter Truno GT Apex. Now, for those of you guys who do not know, this car is an absolute legend in the drift game as far as Japan goes. Very, very respected in the drift world. Now, a lot of you guys may think, but Don Squally, that's a Toyota Corolla. That's where you're wrong, man. This thing is way more than that. This car came out before Corollas were front-wheel drive, economy cars, you know what I mean? The Camrys can't, like, this is beyond that, man. Way ahead of its time. Naturally aspirated, rear-wheel drive, just a great platform to drift on. So obviously what we're going to do is jump into the upgrades and start upgrading this bad boy. Now before we get started, I had a few people in a couple videos last week get a little upset that their names were not mentioned. That their names were not mentioned in the request. Now, like I say, I take one request on one specific video, so if you didn't request it on that specific video, like this one's coming from the GTR build that we did last Monday. So, you know, if you requested an AE86, but it wasn't on that build, unfortunately, there's just no way for me to search and physically look at every single video at once. So that's why I've devised this system where we take one request per video uploaded, and then we just have to keep it moving, man. That way we keep things fresh, keep the content fresh, and obviously gives, you know, everybody a fair opportunity. So make sure you guys are making those requests within the last 7 videos uploaded. And yeah, my apologies if I didn't get to you guys, man. It's nothing personal. So right off of the bat, we are going to check out a couple of our engine swap options. Now, obviously, like I say, 1.6 liter, naturally aspirated here. I wouldn't mind putting on a turbo, but I definitely don't want to do any of these engine swaps. Looks like we have a 3.2 liter inline 6, 2.6 liter. That looks like a RB26, I believe. But would you look at this? Absolutely no 2J swap. Why are you slacking, Forza? I'm upset about that, man. I'm taking that personal, Forza. But we are going to keep it moving. Probably install some kind of forced induction on our stock motor. And I'm thinking a turbocharger would probably give us a little bit more power than a supercharger in this case, with it being such a small displacement engine, naturally aspirated. I think a turbo is going to help out quite a bit. Now, as far as our aero and appearance, we're going to just check out a few of our options for the front bumper here. Now, I don't know, that Origin bumper doesn't even look half bad. I think I'm going to go ahead and install that. Now, back in the day when Need for Speed came out, man, they had all types of crazy body kits for this car. We're not going to get too carried away with this one. maybe check out our options for the rear bumper here. Now, as much as I like that Origin front bumper, not really a big fan of that rear bumper. It looks a little too much for me. Side skirts, I have a funny feeling going to be about the same for me. As far as the hood goes, though, we're going to get that little slotted hood in there for sure. So as you can see, just a little front lip, a little bit of hood action on here, keeping it nice and simple. Now, like I say, back in the day when Need for Speed was out, you were awarded points for racing your cars. Need for Speed, I forget which one it was, man, that came out that was really popping on the PS2. A lot of you young guns out there, man, may not even have gotten the opportunity to play a PlayStation 2 game, and I'll tell you what, when you go back to those games now, it's extremely humbling getting to play the types of games that we play nowadays, because back in the day, as fun as they were back then because they were new and exciting, going back to them after playing something with this, 1080p, the high definition, all of that good stuff, definitely cannot compare. So I'm just going to skim through a couple of wheel options here. You guys know how we do it. Now, what I'm thinking for this wheel is probably going to be this Rota P45Rs. I just like the way that the spokes look. Definitely going to look nice. We're probably not going to keep them gold on this one, but I think, let me see, 16-inch. Once we big up this wheel size a little bit, probably going to do well, I'm not going to spoil the secret right now. You guys are going to have to wait later on in the video. Unless you saw the thumbnail, then that's probably a dead giveaway. Now, I had somebody actually say, why don't you, don't put the finished product in the thumbnail? And the reason that I do that is just because, the thumbnails, basically, I want them to be appealing, right? So when you see it on the, let's say it's a recommended video or something of that nature, and you see it, you think, oh, that looks like a video that I'd want to watch because it's got a nice car in it already. Whereas if I just had a stock car in every single thumbnail, probably wouldn't, get as much clicks just from being in related videos and stuff like that. So that's kind of the reason that I go that route. Now, I'm not going to do a full cage in here, probably just going to do a half cage. As far as the weight reduction goes, definitely going to go ahead and do some weight reduction on this thing. Not that it needs it. It is a little bit of an older car, so I'm sure there are some old metal components that could go. Now, we're not going to get too carried away with this build. Going to, slightly modify that turbo. And when I say slightly, we're going to max the turbo out. But everything else on this one, I'm not going to get too carried away. Now, the reason being is this is going to be typically a drift / slammed and stance build, so I don't think I'm going to need this thing to perform like at an extreme level, but I would like it to have a little bit of kick in the pants once we get out on the road. Maybe make it a little easier to huck sideways once we get out there. Now, next up, obviously, we're going to do the designs and paints. So I'm going to go ahead. Let's check out some body color options here. Now, I like the fact that this is letting us paint the whole car one color. Even though that, that bottom section being a different color is kind of iconic to this car, I think we're going to have a better idea if we just go ahead and leave that out. Now, some of the options that I was thinking for this car was going to be white. Not sure, thinking back, I don't think we've had too many white cars on the channel. I don't know, something about this thing, man. It looks like it should be either white or all black. Very, very nice car. I don't know. Let me check out a few colors here, folks. Now, typically, I wouldn't be a huge fan of the color shifts. However, this car, back in its era, throughout the 90s and the early 2000s, color shifts were quite popular, and it was definitely not uncommon to see one of these cars rocking a flamboyant, very bright paint job. Like I said, a lot of you young guns may not exactly relate to this style of car, but definitely for me, it's something that the color shift, it's kind of that Need for Speed race, man. If you've played that game before, you'll know all about it. You get massive style points for the color shifting and stuff like that. Probably not going to be something that everybody's going to like, especially on this car, but let me know down in the comments section what you think. Last but not least, though, what I think I am going to do is just put a slight tune on this thing. Now, one thing I do want to check out is our gearing. Looks like we're not too crazy on the acceleration. Top speed right around where I like to be. We did say, however, that we were going to slam and stance this. I don't know why we're changing up the caster, but this is where we need to be, that camber, obviously. The whole rear is just going to get max camber. The front might as well be max, but you know, we'll give a little bit of room for improvement there if we need it. Differential, everything's looking good there. I don't typically mess with the differential unless it's an all-wheel drive setup or we're looking for just maximum power. So obviously, last but not least, the only thing left to do is take this thing out for a little bit of a rip. Now, I'm not really sure how I feel about that color shift paint. Like I say, for this car in the era, I think it would have been quite appropriate, but maybe not in this game, this build. We're going to work with it. Definitely spins those tires nicely. Sounds pretty healthy, I gotta say. It sounds like it has quite a bit of power. Little e-brake there, keep off the wall. Oh, forget about your focus, bud. We out here in this classic. Okay, so first impressions. Sounds very good, super aggressive. Make our way up to the road here. As far as the looks go, I think we might be able to improve the paint job on this thing. Now, typically with the paint jobs on these cars, I try to throw something that I like, but that's also quick, right? Like, I try to keep these videos somewhat short so the editing process doesn't take so much, you know, just load and time off on my computer. And, you know, in certain instances like this where I might, you know, where if I was doing this one off camera, I might have taken a little more time to fine tune this paint job. But since it, you know, we just want to keep the video rolling, maybe I'll go back and make some minor adjustments. But I think once we get into photo mode, this thing's actually going to look really good. I love the sound of that turbo. Oh, love the sound of smashing into other cars too. Maybe we can get a little drift section happening here. Definitely drifts nice, man. Right at the top of second. Into third, though, a little sluggish. Might, I think, want to stay in third gear for the best. Just looks like the best range of power seems to be in third gear for drifting. Even though, like in that instance there, though, oh, spinning her right around. Yeah, in that case, though, I guess second gear didn't hurt. Still spinning them, though, eh? In third, that's friggin' awesome. Gotta love that. Oh, first gear, red line. I'm like, why aren't we going anywhere? I actually kind of like the paint job on this car now. One thing I will say about white wheels is if you do have them in real life, terrible to keep clean, especially if we're talking matte wheels, because they just hold so much dirt in them, and it's a love-hate thing. I was thinking of going white on my wheels. Currently I have on my G35, I have gold. Well, my winter wheels are black. My summer wheels are currently painted gold, but I was thinking of maybe doing a different scheme on there. I want to go with the white, but I know if I do it, I'm going to want to do like a gloss instead of the matte because they're just easier to keep clean. And I need to get new tires for those rims anyways, because I was drifting, not really drifting a lot, but more or less practicing on those tires, and they're pretty much burnt out, ready to be replaced. So maybe when I do that, who knows, maybe I'll repaint them, because I know I'm gonna probably have to refinish them, just because the tire machine usually chews up the paint, plasti dip, or whatever you got on. Mine are painted, but I did have plasti dip on my wheels, and unfortunately, the tire machine just wrecks. But as far as this car goes, I'm pretty happy with the way this one turned out. Definitely looks sick. Ride's beautiful. Like, I can't say anything bad about the ride of this car. This thing is just a gem. Let's see here. We need to get a little spot where we can get the sunlight glistening on this car. So let's just make a little trip down to this guy's driveway. And you guys know how we do it, man. Take our little thumbnail. Beauties, man. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this one down in the comments section. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to smash that like button. If you guys want to see more and you are not subscribed, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. If you guys think that I destroyed this Toyota, because sometimes I ruin a classic for the guys who are into the classics. If you think this was a dope build, let me know. But if you think it was whack, just type hashtag whack. And yeah, man, I'll know for next time. No color shifts, eh? Oh, listen to me. The Canadian A is coming at me there. For the old Saskatchewanie is coming at me there, eh? But for real though, I'm probably gonna put an end to this video. So as always, I'm your boy D Nally, aka Don Squelly. I just want to say thank you guys for watching. We gonna catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh.